And the proof that he's not protected and the proof that he's not safe is that his 2 little children are dead. And his preoccupation now is, help me to protect the rest of my family. Now, restoring the rule of law is the way. That is the way to protect. And basing the policies, whatever they might be, every day on the facts. And as I have said repeatedly, it's actually very simple. When you rehumanize for both sides, and when you focus on the consequences on individuals, then you can start making policies that actually help to move the process forward rather than taking it in the direction that we're going. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Today, at the City Club of Cleveland, we are listening to a special program with John Ging, Director in Gaza of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees. We will return to our speaker in a minute for our traditional City Club questions. We encourage you to figure out your questions now. Keep them brief and to the point as we break for a few announcements. We welcome all of you here, especially our guests. We hope you will join the City Club and become active in our ongoing civic dialogue. We are pleased today to welcome guests at tables hosted by the Council on American Islamic Relations. We are also pleased to recognize Congressman Dennis Kucinich at our head table. Friday, April 3, James Stoyer will discuss raising kids in today's 24/7 world, the challenges and opportunities at the Samuel O. Friedlander Memorial Forum on Education. On Friday, April 10th, the City Club will host Richard Clark, president of St. Martin de Porres High School, for the Bernice Kerrigan Smith Forum on Education. For more information about our programs, or to make reservations, or to order a tape or CD of today's program, please call the City Club at 888-223-6786 or 216-621-0082, or visit our website at cityclub.org. Now we return to our speaker for our traditional City Club questions and answers. We welcome questions from everyone, including guests. Holding the microphone today is City Club Director of Development Jessica Leary Allen and PR and Programs Manager Carrie Miller. Now the first question, please. John?
Thanks for coming. You talk about the rule of law. Which national law should prevail when you have a breakdown between the Gaza government and the Palestinian Authority on the West Bank? Is that a conflict that contributed to this? How do you view that?
Yes, I mean the issue between the Palestinians on Hamas and Fatah, since Hamas have taken over the Gaza Strip, is crystal clear. And again, until they come to terms in terms of respecting the basic laws of Palestine as they are set out, and all that goes with that, then this just compounds the problem. I mean, Palestinian political structures divided, and also, I might add, uncommitted, where it might be, to the political, peaceful resolution of the conflict with the State of Israel, is part of the problem. That's what we're talking about when we talk about collective political failure. It starts with the parties to the conflict, and on the Palestinian side we have the additional complexity and difficulty of the divisions within the Palestinian political framework, whereby we have two different authorities, if you like, one recognized and supported by the international community, and the other not. In Gaza, this has made the plight of the people even more difficult because of the reactions to that.
I've been to Gaza. I met you there. I've seen the damage. The fact that the U.S. is, I'm charging that the U.S. is in violation of the Arms Export Control Act due to the military aid we give to Israel from the U.S. government is used on civilians. If we would remove a large segment of the U.S. military aid, could you see this violence in Gaza and Israel substantially being reduced?
My message is very simple. I want to see the rule of law restored. We can look at whatever else follows on from that, but for the people, there has to be an credible, effective mechanism for accountability against the standards of international law, first and foremost. And all policies and decisions that are going to be made have to be made on the premise of fact rather than rhetoric. Both sides spin out very effectively far too much rhetoric. And what we need is we need to get back to the simple facts. We're all about developing a situation on the ground in both communities which is legal, dignified, and the product of that will be that people in their circumstances will become much more rational, less emotional, and their mindset will be much more open to understanding the other side and then ultimately to agreeing to whatever the compromises are. We've had, there's many other things that follow on, and that's for those who have the responsibility to decide. But the acid test for me now has to be, number one, are we basing our policies and our decisions on the facts? And number two, have we got and are we contributing to effective, credible mechanisms for establishment of the rule of law and holding accountable all in this conflict to those standards on both sides?
Short of traveling to the Middle East, what are one or two specific things that we in Northeast Ohio could do to support restoring the rule of law and to rehumanizing the Middle East?
Well, what you're doing today is to be commended. You're seeking to know. What I say should be challenged as well. What everybody says should be challenged until you as an individual are satisfied that you are convinced of where the truth lies. And then, of course, as I say, the different perspectives of people are welcome. We want the friends of Israel, those who, are unapologetically supporters of Israel in their political objectives, and those who are unapologetically supportive of Palestinians in their political objectives, to actually open their minds to understand why we have this conflict, how each side thinks, what is motivating them, what is causing their reactions and actions, so that we can then become good friends, because we're one step removed from the people who have to live it. That's why we have a better opportunity to be less emotional. And again, I would very much appreciate that if outside of the area, those who have traditionally different perspectives or different orientations were to spend more time also interacting and sharing and understanding better, and also discussing how to move the issues forward with that better understanding. I mean, what we have to do is we have to drop the prejudice at all levels and everywhere, open our minds to a better understanding, and then contribute to helping move the whole thing forward, which again means that everybody who's involved are actually doing that with those, not just in your own group, but actually interacting with the other groups as well, to change the understanding and change the approach. And as I say, if we can't do it from here, how do we expect the people who are living it to actually be able to do it on the ground? Because it's about moving forward, and you can't move forward without an open mind and an understanding of the other perspective.